So it's finally spring again, and we're gonna celebrate my favorite way, with bread. Hot cross buns are so delicious. If you've never had a hot cross bun before, it's a soft, sweet roll full of spices and usually some dried fruit. So let's get ready. Here's your ingredient list. Now this is a yeast dough, so make sure you have about 3 hours to get this done. It's mostly proving time, so you can do other things around the house or whatever. You know how yeast bread is. But this is a little different than other enriched doughs. The first thing you need is a paddle attachment. Then we'll switch to a dough hook later. The paddle attachment's gonna go for a few minutes. You wanna check the consistency every now and again. And what you're looking for is the butter to be broken up really small, but not paste. So it should have a sandy consistency. Now we can switch to our dough hook. Okay, once all of your ingredients are in, we are going to start on a low speed for 3 minutes. Okay, now's a good time to scrape the bowl. You have to check the bottom. In this recipe, a lot of the dry ingredients hide underneath. Okay, now 3 more minutes on a slightly higher speed. Okay, so now when you scrape this time, there shouldn't be nearly as much dry stuff on the bottom. Maybe it's all incorporated. All right, for the last 30 seconds, we're gonna mix in our dried fruit. You don't wanna put these in earlier because it can tear up your gluten strands, and we wanna keep the integrity of the gluten. So for candied fruit, I use currants and candied orange peel. If you can't find currants, because you almost can't find currants in Brooklyn, you can totally use raisins. If you don't like raisins, you can use craisins, you can use chocolate chips, you can use dried cherries, make yourself happy. With this recipe, I found currants and I made my own candied orange peel. So you can buy it if you can find it. If you can't, check out my other recipe on quick candied orange peel. Okay, so this is a really sticky dough. So we're gonna knead it briefly on a floured surface, about 20 seconds, just to round it off. Once it's in an oiled bowl, cover it and then proof for 1 hour or until doubled in size. So now's a great time to prep your dish. We're just gonna lightly butter a baking dish. This one's about 13 by 9, it's a Pyrex. So today we're making 12 buns. I usually pull my dough into a rectangle shape and then just mark out 12 even rectangles. So now we're simply going to make 12 dough balls. If you're not sure how to make a dough ball, we're gonna go over it briefly here right now. But if you want a more in-depth look, please check out my Bread Shaping 101 video all about dough balls. Take one piece of your dough and look for the smooth side. Smooth side face down. Then you're gonna gather up your edges into a little dough purse. flip it over. Make a little cage with your hand, and you're gonna press lightly but firmly while you roll around in a circle. The knot of the dough purse should be sticking to the surface of your counter so that while you roll, the surface of the dough tightens. If it's not sticking, then make sure you brush away all the flour in that area. You can take a little bit of water and just wet the surface of your counter. Then try again. And now's a good time to make our bun paste. It's simply flour, water, and a little bit of oil mixed together, and it has no flavor. So it's purely aesthetic. If you don't like to have crosses on your food, you don't want bun paste, you don't need to do it. But if you do and you want to do it this traditional way, here we go. Once your bun paste is mixed, you can load it up into a piping bag. You can get these for a few bucks, maybe at a baking store or online. Cuff your bag, and this is really to give your hand something to hold on to, but also so you don't make a mess. If you don't have a piping bag, you have other options. You can do the Ziploc thing where you fill up a Ziploc bag and then you just cut the edge off here, the corner, and then pipe like that. Or you could be really fancy and use a cornet with parchment paper, but making one of these is a whole different process, and that's a whole different video, and we're not going to do it today. Load up your bun paste into the bag. Once it's in there, you just want to twist off the end and hold it tight in your dominant hand. That's your power hand. And then your non-dominant hand is really just going to guide, so that way you have nice straight lines. So you might notice that your bun paste wants to keep stretching even though you want to end the line. So I just use my finger to cut it off. Done! So these are gorgeous and they're perfectly ready to go in the oven. So traditionally these are topped off with some simple syrup. Gives them a little extra sweetness, a little shine, and you can make it with equal parts sugar and water. Or if you did make your candied orange peel, that reserved syrup is the same thing. So that's what I'm using. So that is it for hot cross buns. They keep really well at room temperature for about 3 days, and if you want to make them well in advance, you can even freeze them. Just pop them in the oven at 300 for about 10 minutes when you're ready. They'll be good as new.